Hello, I'm Angel from Pennsylvania, here at WBOC's Historic Studio D, and you're watching Delmarva Life.
And we want to welcome Angel to the show as well. Well, we've had some pretty nasty storms pass through Delmarva already this summer, and the last thing you need to have is the wind to blow a tree branch, or even worse, the whole tree into your house. Well, as I found out by visiting a Timberwolf Tree Service job site, trees can do damage to your home even when the weather is good.
A wooded lot is not only beautiful, it provides shade, but unfortunately, if not taken care of properly, trees can create danger to you and your home. And Billy Caldwell, owner of Timberwolf Tree Service, has seen his share of dangerous trees.
Broken branches, dead branches. When you see it, the tree's mostly green, but you've got a spot of brown in it, you know you have a problem. You should have it looked at. It's either the branch is cracked and still hanging on, so you're just waiting for it to fall. Totally dry.
Like a plant in a garden, trees need to be tended to, something Billy says many homeowners don't do.
They don't pay enough attention to them. I mean, they look pretty, they like the way they look, but they're not really looking close enough. And the average person don't, and if you have a lot of trees, you ought to have somebody come check them every so many years to see if there's any dead wood, and when you go up in the tree, then you'll find different things, what you don't see on the ground.
Billy suggests having a professional look at your trees every 4 to 5 years, and that means getting up in the tree to see any damage.
Actually, looking up, you couldn't see that, but up in the bucket, in the bucket truck, when we're in the tree, we can look down at the branch from the top, and we could find the holes and stuff. So they were actually like 20, 30 foot long, and they would create a weak spot in there if you had a bad storm, and then you'd be losing them branches on your house, cars, or whatever. This branch has to come out.
But that doesn't mean the whole tree has to come down. Sometimes removing the bad limbs is enough.
But it is a big, beautiful tree.
Pruning a tree can also prevent big problems during the next big storm.
With the tree being full, it's like a sail on a sailboat. The wind grabs the whole tree, and it's a lot harder on the tree. When you thin it out, the wind can blow through the tree. This is what we don't want.
Billy says homeowners also need to pay close attention to how close tree limbs are to their home's roof.
You don't want them hanging on your shingle, even though if they're a foot away from the shingle, but when it rains, the tree, they get heavier. The leaves get heavier because it's full of water, and then they'll lay right on your shingle. And when it's rubbing, it's going to rub the sand off your shingles. And before you know, you have to have roof repair.
That's just one of the reasons Billy suggests not planting trees any closer to your house than 50 feet. The other, roots.
Well, that's another reason why it's a good idea to plant them 50 foot away from the house, because then years later you don't have to worry about the roots. If they're 20 foot or 15 foot away from the house and you have a real big taproot, we can push a foundation in and cause a lot of problems. We've seen them lift up sidewalks where the sidewalk comes up about a foot, where the root's pushing it up.
And when Billy prunes trees, he makes sure there is no further damage down the road by spraying the fresh cut spots.
It's called a pruner sprayer, and it seals the tree up so the insects don't get into where you just cut, because it's a fresh cut and it might be having sap on it so that ants go to it. And you want to keep them out, and then it also keeps the weather away from it. It's got a tar substance to it, and you spray it on there and it seals it from the weather and the ants. Gives the tree time to heal over.
Healing that leads to a healthier tree and a happier homeowner.
Seeing a homeowner smile when we're done, really loving their house when we're finished. Like this couple here was thinking about taking their trees down, and now that I've cleaned this one up, the way we did, she just loves it. And she said, "I'm so happy that you talked me into doing this versus taking it down."
And Caldwell says having tree limbs too close to your roof can also cause mildew to build up on the shingles. Still to come on Delmarva Life, just about 2 weeks to go until the Olympic Games in London. U.S. gymnast John Orozco is getting ready to compete, but he takes a few minutes out of his training schedule to talk with us. Next, how he got where he is today and what he's asking of you. Delmarva Life, life at its best here on Delmarva.